What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of A Life with Cars. Today, if you're new to the channel, I'm Alex, and today we are in the K24 swap CRX. Today we're going to talk about, is it actually worth it? Is it worth the money to swap this car? Is it worth the performance you get? Is it worth the car's heritage to be basically turned into a hot rod Honda? You guys can answer that below. But if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and if you like this video, hit that like button. It really helps us out. Today we're going to take it down the road, and I gotta wash this thing. It's absolutely awful. It's going to be one of the last nice days of the year here, so we're going to take her on down the road. Right away, we're going to get off to the topic of the elephant in the room. It costs a lot to K-swap your car, and you will have to excuse me. This is a K-swap CRX with some solid style motor mounts, and it is very vibrating and very loud in here. Now, is it really worth the cost of this K-swap? To me, I say yes. If you're trying to do a simple build and your budget doesn't allow for a $10,000 swap, you may not consider K-series. But in the event of this car, I was lucky to buy the car already swapped. I knew who swapped it. I knew who put the parts in it. I knew where the parts came from. And you can actually find deals all over the place. People that are just getting out of it. They want something either faster, a better car, nicer shell, whatever have you. You can pick up some awesome K-swap projects for a really reasonable price. Now that's where the value, I feel, comes into it, because you didn't have to buy the mounts, you didn't have to buy the Kpro, you didn't have to buy all of these supporting modifications to the chassis. So at the end of the day, you're saving thousands of dollars. Now, I'm just going to put this out there. You can find cars all day for $5,000, especially in a lot of different places in the country, besides, you know, some of the Midwest places where we live are actually hard to find these cars, but you know, Florida, East Coast, West Coast, they're all over the place. Any of you guys that are there, you already know. But at the same time, if you're gonna buy all of the parts, even if you have all of the tools, even if you have all of the knowledge, all of the space, all of the time, you're still only gonna get away with, if you buy off-the-shelf parts and you're not searching around and digging for these parts, digging for these used deals, searching and trading and doing all of this work behind the fact to save yourself money on these parts. If you buy them off the shelf, you're looking at $7,000 for a K24 swap. Now, that's $7,000 give or take. Some people might be able to find some deals and choose different parts, but the parts list that I've acquired are reliable, known, good working parts, popular parts, you know, a lot of K-tune stuff. And at the end of the day, do you really want to spend $7,000 on 200 horsepower? You know, that's tuned also. That's not taking into account any sort of dyno time, anything like that, you know. So beyond things like your shifter and everything like that, all of these other miscellaneous items that you have in the car, I mean, it all adds up. This is a $500 shifter, you know. I mean, the axles themselves are insane shaft axles, 34 millimeter, and they're expensive, $500 for a set, you know. And they'll still break. We found that out with Jeff's cars. The insane shaft axles did not handle that power. We had to go to that 36 millimeter hub conversion, and yeah. So you really got to think about all of these different things that you have, you know. I mean, even especially the Kpro, $700, $800, you know, depending on the ECU. You really have to weigh out your options. Now, for me, I got this car great, you know. It's one of those $5,000 K-swap cars, you know. It's got its issues. It's got its places where I can improve them, but I got the whole car, chassis done. The only thing that it doesn't have that I'd like to do is obviously a cage for safety, and it doesn't have the 36 millimeter hub conversion. But right now, we're not pushing enough power to where that's necessary. It's been an awesome car for me. I've actually put a ton of miles on it. We are coming up with a couple little issues here and there, you know, either the gauge false reads or the fuel tank level float deal is wrong. You can't let it get past half a tank of gas, otherwise it starts seems like it's starving fuel. That's a whole story for another day. But this car has been a nice cars, as you guys may know. I've had the S2000, that's gone. The Mercedes. I have the Integra, which is a nicer Honda. I will have to say it's beyond any Civic that I've ever owned. But what it really comes down to is your preference, what you want. I will have to say K Series is the way to go if you want torque. This thing is an all-motor car, you know. It has torque. It has torque. Not many Hondas have torque, you know. I mean, just like half throttle, just you're up to speed, you know. It is actually a very quick car for what it is, being a CRX base, of course. It doesn't weigh much from the factory, of course. Adding a K Series is not much, but you have to think about it in this aspect. If you're going from a D Series to a K Series, you want reliable power. If you really don't want to mess with a boosted car, you know, supercharged, turbocharged, anything like that, then this is great reliable power. It's fun. Obviously, you know, some turbo cars can be faster, but man, this thing is fun around town. It's fun at legal speeds, and it can run with some pretty fast cars, to be honest. But it's just a stock motor, not even tuned. Still, just not quite the same potential as a K24, K20Z, K20A, JDM. But yeah, this is kind of just my thoughts with the car. I will fill you guys in on anything else that I'm planning to do with this car. Funny story: the other day it got backed into by an older gentleman behind my work, and he ended up just running away. Luckily, I happened to have an awesome neighbor that lives above the building we work in, and she's like, yeah, I saw him back right into it, get out of the car and look. So I ran downstairs, got a picture of his license plate. We've since filed a police report, and insurance is going to cover it. So we'll see what ends up happening with that insurance money. I might be able to get it PDR'd out, but it's a pretty decent gash in the door. I'll show you guys a couple pictures right here on the screen. It was just a funny story. But besides that, guys, I really hope you had a great day today. I know it's a beautiful Sunday here. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day here. I'm going to get the car washed up. And until next time, this has been Alex with ALifeWithCars. You guys have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you next time.